Hi, everybody. Welcome back. We're just going to take a look at some real numbers, number operations, and algebraic expressions. So you can check this out in this video. Students should be able to identify properties of and use operations with real numbers and expressions. So let's talk about it and see how we do. You've been working with this for years. You really have. And what this is saying is just all the numbers that you tend to work with. We have here whole numbers, which you're used to, starting at 0, 1, 2, 3, going upward in the positive direction. You notice that we have no negatives there. And also, we have no decimals, so on. Integers include the negatives. Okay, so we can go to the left of the number line towards negative infinity as well as positive infinity. Okay. The biggest one of all of that would be rational numbers. So rationals would be numbers that are fractions that can be written as the ratio of two integers. It can be written as a fraction. When written as decimals, rational numbers terminate or repeat. For example, 3/4 is 0.75 and 1/3 is 0.33 repeating. So if you had to take a look at this, okay, if you had a big circle, you've got rational numbers, rational, okay. Inside of that, you have integers, okay, so like you have a subset of that, integers. My handwriting is terrible, I apologize. And then inside of that, you have whole numbers. So you're noticing it getting smaller every time, a little bit more specific, okay? A completely different set is irrational, okay? We'll talk about these more and more this year. Irrational numbers are numbers that are not rational, haha, obviously, such as square root of 3 and pi. They are numbers written as decimals that do not terminate or repeat. So if you had to compare these two, here's irrational over here, irrational. All right. So no matter what you do, you could never ever terminate that number. Okay. So again, just a little bit of review. Graph numbers on number line. We have 7/2, negative 3.5, square root of 5, negative root 7, and 0. 7/2. We should be okay with this. Just if we needed to, we have a calculator. Okay. So 7 divided by 2, we get 3.5. Me personally, I like to write everything out first in terms of a decimal, so it helps me to organize my thoughts. Okay, so we've got square root of 5, our square root, but second square root, right there, the x squared. 5, close it, 2.236. I know this is irrational, but for the sake of this little activity, I'm going to only put down the first two decimals. And yes, I did round to 2.24 just because I rounded up from the third decimal back, or from the hundreds. Or sorry, thousands to the hundreds. Negative root 7, negative square root of 7, negative 2.64, and then 0. Okay. So if we had a number line, okay, and then we have our little arrows on it to demonstrate that it goes from left to right, negative infinity to positive infinity. The furthest left we're going to go is negative 3.5. Okay, because the larger number, the further left we are on the number line. Our next one is negative 2.64. Well, again, this is for our problem here, so we're going to put negative root 7. Okay. And it might help if I put down 0 here for demonstration. Negative 1, negative 2, negative 3, negative 4. I know it's a little bit off, but you'll notice that negative root 7 is between negative 2 and negative root 3. You'll notice that negative 3.5 is between the two of them. So if I'm going this way, 1, 2, 3, we'll extend it out this way, 4, right? So our next largest number would be 2.24, square root of 5, between 2 and 3. And then finally, we have 7/2, which is 3.5 over here. Boom. Okay. It's okay. So if we want to write that all out, there we go. Okay. Good deal. All right. Basic properties. Okay. Associative, commutative, identity property, and inverse. So we've got matching over here. Now, if we're taking a look at this, okay, if we're taking a look at our first one, associative properties. Associative properties when you're moving your parentheses around and you're identifying different spots. So 7 plus 3 plus 1, you'll notice that our parentheses are grouping the 3 plus 1 together. All we're doing is sliding those grouping over. Because it all is addition, we can get away with that. So for the first one, that would be our associative property. Okay, you were associating a different group of numbers, you still have the same quantity. If I did 3 plus 1 first, then add 7, it's the same as 7 plus 3 first, then plus 1. Commutative is when we are taking something and we are flipping it around, okay? So if you're taking a look at the rest of the three of these, 5 plus -4, if I flip that, -4 plus 5, we still end up with the same quantity. Identity and inverse, okay? Identity is when you're proving something is itself, basically. So, I mean, if you're taking a look at what's left, A and C, -6 plus 0 equals -6. That's the identity property of addition. If the identity property of multiplication would be -6 times 1, because then you're maintaining your own identity. Inverse, then, of course, would be just canceling each other out, ending up with 0. So there we go. Okay. Down here, select and perform an operation to answer the following questions. What is the sum? This is basically just to get you guys, just to remember some keywords we're going to use throughout the year. What's the sum of -7 and 15? Sum means addition. Okay, so boom, we've got 8 there. We're good. I'm not too worried you guys can do that. I want you to know the vocab. What's the difference of -20 and 5? Difference means subtraction. Always read it left to right. -20 minus 5. They're both negative. You add them, maintain the sign. -25. Boom. Product, -4, -8. So we've got -4 times -8. A negative times negative is a positive. 4 times 8 is 32. Great. And quotient, 45 and -9. Again, just like difference, read left to right. 45 divided by -9. Or you could write it 45 divided by -9. Okay, you end up with -5 either way. You don't have to write them both. I'm just showing you whatever way you feel comfortable doing. Okay, very good. On to the back. All right, order of operations. Okay, basically all you need to know is PEMDAS. You've learned this a long time. Please excuse my dear Aunt Sally. Parentheses, exponents, multiplication, division, addition, subtraction. So this is what this is saying here. First, do operations that occur within parentheses or grouping. I'm going to write parentheses. You could put grouping symbols here too in case they use brackets or something along those lines. Then evaluate exponents. Then do multiplication and division from left to right. This is important. Multiplication, division from left to right. Finally, do addition and subtraction from left to right. Okay. Again, something that you know, just to bring it back up, first day of school again, or first week of school, all good. All right. Again, just little things with vocab. Practice 3 squared, if you would see that. 3 to the second power. Guys, if you're looking at these graphing calculators that we're using a lot of, your squared button is right here. It's diagonal from top corner from the left. Boom. Y cubed. Okay, cubed is just y to the third power. Z to the 7th power. Z to the 7th. Boom. Nothing too bad there. Practice, evaluate the variable expression that p equals 2 and q equals 5. We are substituting these in, so p plus q squared. So when I plug these in, we're going to go 2 plus 5 squared. Please remember your order of operations. We want to do what's inside the parentheses of the grouping symbols first. 2 plus 5 is 7. 7 squared, 49. Good deal. Okay. P squared in parentheses plus q. So you're looking at 2 squared plus 5. Get yourself in a habit right away. I know this looks goofy, parentheses and parentheses, but I'm doing what's in the parentheses first. I'm evaluating that exponent. 2 squared is 4. 4 plus 5, 9. Cool. Okay. Just take your time, go through it. You're good to go. Q minus P. 5 minus 2 squared. Again, work inside the parentheses first. 5 minus 2 is 3. 9. Awesome. Okay. A few extra practice here. All right. 4 plus 10 minus 12. We can work left to right because it's all addition and subtraction. 4 plus 10, 14 minus 12, 2. I know you have calculators. I want to encourage you guys to do as much mental math as possible. It helps you in the long run. Looking left to right. Yes, I know it's multiplication. I've got an exponent first. So I'm going to write 6 times 4 squared is 16 plus 3 times 4. All right. You'll notice this is multiplication. This is multiplication. So I'm going to work with that. 16 times 6, 36, 96. Plus 3 times 4 is 12. Okay. 108. Good stuff. Take your time. I'm going a little fast because I'm trying to make this video not crazy long, but you can always do a little side work here in good shape. 4 times 2 to the 5th. Sorry, it's very tiny. And then divided by 16 minus 4 squared plus 1. Up top, exponents first. 4 times 2 to the 5th. 2 times 2 is 4. Times 2 is 8. Times 2 is 16. Times 2 is 32. Okay. There's a multiplication right there. And then down low, we've got 16 minus 4 squared is 16. Okay. So up top, I've got 4 times 32. I'll do a little bit of side work. That's 8, 12, 128. Divided by 16 minus 16 is 0. Plus 1 is 1. Good stuff. Just getting back in the swing of things. Okay. Wonderful. A few more quick ones and we all wrap this up. Evaluate the expression. Notice now we're evaluating a negative sign. When we do this, we want to make sure that we are putting parentheses around it. 8 divided by 2y. 8 divided by 2 times y. 2 times negative 4. I love parentheses. We're all going to learn to love parentheses because they help us out so much. So I'm working inside the parentheses first. Okay. This is going to give me 8 divided by negative 8 minus 8 plus 9. Now I can go left to right. Okay. 8 divided by negative 8 is negative 1 minus 8 plus 9. Negative 1 minus 8 plus 9. Everything cancels out. Again, I'm going a little bit quick through these, but take your time. Patience is a virtue. Okay. Slow and steady wins the race. Good deal. 2x squared minus 6y. So 2, my x is 3 squared minus 6, negative 4. All right. Exponents first, or I'm sorry, parentheses first, but inside here I'm good. Inside here I'm good. 2, 3 to the second power is 9. Minus 6, negative 4. 2 times 9 is 18. Negative 6 times negative 4 is 24. Okay, add them together. We get 32, 42. Good stuff. Okay. Finally, real life application. You are playing basketball. You make 8 field goals and 2 free throws. Your friend makes half as many field goals as you and no free throws. A field goal is worth 2 points and a free throw is worth 1 point. How many points ahead of you are your friend? So we're going to talk about you first. Okay. 8 field goals. So that's 8 times 2 plus 2 times 1. All right. 8 times 2 is 16 plus 2. You had 18 points. It's a pretty good game, okay? Friend. Now, your friend makes half as many field goals as you. Well, half of 8, okay? If you want to write out 1/2 times 8, you're fine, but I'm pretty sure we can do 4 in our head. That's 4 times 2. And he made no free throws. So plus 0 times 1, which kind of is a mute point. Cancels out. 4 times 2 is 8. Okay. Now, good stuff, but we didn't answer the question yet. How many points ahead of your friend are you? You are 10 points ahead. Okay, good stuff. So, very nice. Thank you for going through this with me. I know it's a good little refresher for you. Keep up the great work. As always, good luck. We're all counting on you.